I'm sure you've probably seen these in the grocery store, spaghetti squash. But how do you turn it from this into this? A lemon parsley parmesan spaghetti squash? I'll tell you how. Let's get cooking with style. I like to start by cutting the top off. It makes it easier to handle the squash because it's a little bit hard to work with. So I get the knife started and then I just cut right down the center, because what we're going to do is this is kind of just like a pumpkin on the inside. We're just going to husk this seed and flesh out of here, and then it'll be ready to be steamed. And you want to get most of the flesh out of here, these little fibers, because once it comes out of the steamer, this is how we're going to serve it. Get this one ready, and then I'll do the next one. You can see what I'm talking about here. Most of that is out. And that is what we're looking at. All right, this is how they're supposed to look. Pretty clean on the inside. We're gonna season them with a little bit of salt, and make sure you get on the sides and around the top with a little salt. And of course, we're gonna put just a little bit of pepper. If you have a fresh pepper mill, turn it so it's very fine, not like coarse like that, but fine, like that. And then this is gonna go in my steamer for about 15, 18 minutes. All right, I've got my stock pot boiling with water, and I'm using a steamer. I want you to look at this. If you don't have one of these, not to fear. All you need to do is just put a little bit less water in the bottom and let the acorn or the spaghetti squash sit right side up. We'll go ahead and put this lid on and let that steam for about 15 minutes, and it should be perfect. All right, been about 15, 20 minutes. I let these rest for just a little bit because they're so hot to deal with when they come right out of the steamer here. And now we make the magic happen. These are really hot, so be careful. Use a hot pad, and you're just gonna take your fork and scrape just lightly like that. And you see how those are cut? That's why they call this spaghetti squash, because it just starts to fall apart like spaghetti. We'll just scoop that out, get those in there like this. We're gonna put the seasoning in after we get both of these scraped out. And you see, look at how nice and stringy that squash is. It's so good. This is one of my favorite vegetables that is off the beaten path. I mean, how many times have you had spaghetti squash at home? I'll bet not a lot, because a lot of folks just don't know how to cook them and use them in a way that makes it flavorful for the whole kitchen. You see how nice and hot and steamy those are? So we'll do this one just like the other one, scraping it out. And don't over treat it, don't over handle it. Just try to get it out as solidly as you can, because if you can keep those strings all together, it's just that much better. This is so hot. You gotta be really careful with this, especially around the kids and everything. And get this all scraped out. Go. All right, so now we're gonna doctor this up just a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of garlic, about a tablespoon, sprinkle some parsley in there. We gotta have lemon if it's a lemon parsley garlic parmesan spaghetti squash, right? And then at the very end, I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of olive oil here, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. And just for the heck of it, a little bit more salt, just a little, and another twist or two of that pepper. And now we're gonna toss this, get all those ingredients incorporated in. And that garlic was fresh, but the heat of the squash will make the oil and the garlic open up. And we'll take this, and this is the side dish. Now, if you want to go traditional and put, some spaghetti sauce over this, you can, but I love to have this just as a side dish and put it out with maybe a nice little bit of pork chop or something like that. Maybe some chicken. It's just so tasty this way. And then finish it off with a little bit of that Parmesan cheese over the top. All right, this is one of my favorite vegetables, the spaghetti squash. I'm calling it a Parmesan parsley lemon spaghetti squash. If you'd like this recipe, go to cbsa.com/recipes. Enjoy.